Hello everyone, welcome back for some more The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I apologize for the 2-month break. Too many games. Too many games. A big one being, of course, Fate Samurai Remnant, which kind of got my attention. But we're back, because we're at the trial of the adventure of the unspeakable story. I may need some reminders going forward, but I feel like we should do pretty okay. I've had it in the back of my head for a while. You may need to remind yourself, but you can watch the old video. When I woke the following morning, Sasato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets, and so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. 17th of April, that's a few days before my birthday. 9:32 a.m., the Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning, Gina. We're off to a great start. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry? You know, in the fancy dress? Sasato, or however you say it. I don't know. Oh, Miss Sasato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. Gotta get back into the British voices. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Sasato and I won't meet again. One day. Even so. But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Who? Oh, why you bring the cat? Why you bring the cat? That, I don't think cats are allowed in court. For there are probably people with allergies. How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Weggy? Meow. There he goes. Weggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. Watch the cat, find evidence. Right? Is the cat gonna be our secret weapon? Let me have a nose around. What harm can it do? That reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Runo? Ginny? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Now, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report. So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yeah. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's, really. Only all good news canceled out the bad. And look, this trial has made headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder, see? How do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. Oh god, the voice is not there today. What is going on? What say you? What? I don't know. How am I gonna do this? It's gonna take a bit. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Runa will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharged Diver is Dauntless Do-Gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, Yes, let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Today's paper's been entered into the court record. I wonder if it's going to be important. We should probably look at that, actually in detail. Good luck then, Runo. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know what the law is like Susie does, but, still. Can't bring that in court either. Super can't bring that in court. That's a big no-no in court. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Oi, Iris. No, I can't. That voice is just... Usually I'm pretty good with being able to go back to a voice, even if it's been a while. For some reason, Ginny's has just left me. Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering, Izzo, about Sholmes. Did they fix him up all right? Yes. The operation was a great success, but Hurley still hasn't come around yet. I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Sasato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime.
Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense, the trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then. Yes. Let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Runo. I don't think you can... I was gonna say, I don't think you can bring a minor into the stand with you, like, into the defense. What accents are happening today? Into the defense, rather. But, then again, Pearl. So, but mind you, that's the future. And also Japan. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. Speaking of, I did say I wanted to read the paper. Is this important here? There's a sensational story lower down on the page as well, look. Ministry mole? Classified secrets may have leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news. It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted, but how would somebody be doing that? Well, that's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo? No, of course not. I wonder, perhaps it's what Lord Stronghar was talking about yesterday. Yes, it could be, and it could explain why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Interesting. Okay, not to, jump on the lead, but... Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. How awful. For Ginny, I mean. But tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Diver is Dauntless Do-Gooder, right? Yes, something like that, if possible. I'd like to go even bigger. Bigger? How? Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial. Perhaps. Protects planet? Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's gonna be so great. How come they haven't put Ryunosuke here in as a Ultimate Marvel mod yet? I feel like he'd be easy to throw over. They did put they did put Sholmes. He's in Ultimate Marvel as a skin, and it's really good. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. I think they also have him over Deadpool you could do, which is pretty funny. You could do Deadpool or you could do Phoenix Wright. Here we are. Interesting set of jurors.
By the name of Her Majesty the Queen, by hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. By now call the counsel for the prosecution defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready.
Lord Van Zeeks.
My lord.
Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the Public Prosecution Service?
It was some 5 years ago, my lord.
Yes, but then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances in which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government.
Really?
Yet today, you chose to try a similar case of burglary and murder. I confess, I find it a little more than a little befuddling, Counsel.
There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yeah, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nipponese. Oh, you're big racist. Oh, this whole time it was a little bit of racism, I thought, but no, that's big racism. What? Did he really just say that? He means you now, Runo. You're one of those shifty-eyed Nipponese, aren't you? It's like, look what you did to her. Lord Van Zeeks, look what you did to her. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes, was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people?
But alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. And a little biased? I don't know if should we have prosecutors have that? Then again, it's a Great Britain of this time. I mean, where the racism there is like, finding a toad in the hole in the pub, am I right? Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by London's malefactors.
Your lordship is too kind.
Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. It's a bit weird that some of you we've seen before. We're supposed to have a random selection from all of London, but maybe we're just a little lucky.
Okay, so that last guy... Huh. Okay. Okay, we got some real interesting ones here.
Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you will determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant?
Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Oh, everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I just can't have left it there. It's not possible, but could I have? The old man's now a doctor. Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Oh, she's doing it in Morse. I wonder if that's real Morse she's doing. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Is something wrong, Runo? Not exactly, it's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million... I like how I was making this exact joke, and yeah, Yeah, it's not a joke. Something's up. Jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I'm being duped.
Very well. Now, Lord Radzix, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of this case.
As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. Why just them? The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. Oh, bro got hit with the anti-air? Frick, shouldn't have jumped. Bro, you shouldn't have jumped. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself, or it ricocheted. But, like, haven't we all seen Wanted? Someone, like the accused, you might say. Oh. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please.
Autopsy report has been entered into the court record. Crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. Okay, not looking too hot for us, I'm going to be honest. The proprietor was found in the storeroom, where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only two persons present. It has a tiny window. I would not call that a sealed room at all. There's a tiny window. That's not sealed. In a world of guns, that's not sealed, you know? The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that lives in the slums on the East End. Oh, well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? The girl's guilty as hell. No, you! We can't jump to conclusions here. We must assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Look at this bougie. My learned Nipponese friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh, Renosuke.
Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. In a small, windowless room... The window on the door? Huh.
Oh, gracious!
After their testimony, this girl's true nature would be exposed. Pitiful pick purse, or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth.
The court will take the full-plated firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Radzix. And don't throw it, it's a gun.
At once, my lord.
But I said don't throw it!
Crime scene floor plan. Windybank's revolver. From when he frickin' did it. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. I think that's because it has. Wow, you're throwing that already, huh? Let us begin. Bring forth the witness to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on 16th of April of this year. I'm sorry. Who are these two losers? What the frick am I looking at? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is a baddie. Professional baddie. My name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's same as him.
Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector.
Oh, that's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers.
I'm not doing that. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot.
Oh, God, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we've gone through?
It's all elder, bruv. Lost contact with him we have, so we're scouring every shady corner of the capital.
And then last night we came across you, the very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right with Ringo?
Oh, it's Ringo, 'cause Ringo means apple. That's a joke about Japanese, but also a joke about British, because the Beatles are British.
He is, Nash, he is the very spitting image of him. So we decided,
No, it's gotta be low voice for him, right?
so we decided then, and there what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you
Big bruv Skulky Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin? That's before he's run out of chips.
Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson.
Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias.
What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you're doing in the witness stand.
The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft.
The thieves, are they these three?
No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime.
By Jove! You would say, well, what an extraordinary coincidence.
Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. He's so small!
Border!
The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to also remain in the stand to keep these two gents on the straight and narrow.
But of course, Inspector, skeptical as I am of the caliber of these witnesses, I wouldn't permit them to take the stand.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, what exactly you saw.
happy to. 'Cause a skulkin's never skulkin'.
Get out of it. These two are so weird. Illegal entry.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gaff store was ajar, see?
Oh, it was like some kind of sign.
Begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, God blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room.
Oh, we went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside.
Oh, we never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet.
But a terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot.
The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. What if the third brother is so much smaller? He's like super small. Like he's like a 3-inch man. Like he's a tiny OG-san. He just goes in there. Little OG-san. Little old man. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. But what if he's so small he could have hidden, like, in their pockets, you know?
I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel?
Uh, yes. What's the matter, Runo? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies that it is. And because I'm not up to date as much, I'm definitely going to need to check over some of the evidence, right? Redemption ticket, showing Scotland Yard's access, okay. Ticket with the blood on it. Right, we had the blood samples. That was a whole thing. Right? Because then purple, blue, so that's his blood on there. But then the other blood stains are very weird. Manuscript. I don't 100% know what we're going to use that for. McGilded's case notes. That's going to be a whole thing. Okay, but let's look at these new ones. Autopsy report. Okay. Single bullet in the upper half of the victim's back. No other signs of drama. Instant death from postero-anterior bullet wound to the heart. Enter the body from the back on a gently rising triangular or diagonal trajectory. Okay, there's nothing to look at with that. Okay. I don't see much point with the magnifying glass here. I'm going to be super honest. And then the gun. What if I look straight down it? This is Mr. Winniebank's gun. Cylinder's completely empty. Mr. Winniebanks always used to keep this gun on hand on his shop counter, for when he was really going to do it this time. Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? Why were you like that? Okay, so it's just the one? Is this the same one? Yeah, okay, so it's just the one then. Did these guns have safeties back then? I have no idea. I don't, I'm not a gun guy, I don't know what I'm talking about.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gaff store was ajar, see?
Hold it, what the frick is a gaff? The front door of Winniebank's was ajar, you say? What time of night was this?
Oh, we must have been one. Right, Ringo?
Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky?
How would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town.
Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo?
Oh, I'm not so sure, Nash. Seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Skulky, me old mucker?
Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused Miss Gina Lestrade already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim. That is pure conjecture. Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
Right, that's what happened. It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was.
It's got the was. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't it, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon.
God's will often presents itself on the whims of thieves, does it?
Oh, it weren't no whim. I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't. Like we said at that time.
You don't just find... Oh, I'm kind of mixing up their voices. I need to go I need to, like, do 2 different registers for them, right? Like, you don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. No, there's no 2 ways about it. Then down.
It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside.
Yeah, you gotta go up.
And down.
They're not very good liars, are they?
Well,
Like, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke what looks just like our bruv.
I said, cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today.
Ah, but once we got inside, quad blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room.
Did you hear a gunshot now? A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that?
Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that.
It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bro?
The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Winniebanks always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Winniebanks always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well.
So we could say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon.
Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. I'm guessing we gotta show all the different bullet wounds for that.
Oh, man, we went to see what was what, and the door was locked from the inside.
Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door. That is the storeroom.
Of course, there was only a little lamp oil burning. Not much to say.
And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all.
That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo.
Oh, well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways to hearing a gunshot or a scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Japanese friend, or Nipponese, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Oh, we would never do nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet.
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out, me Lucy lockets.
What the frick do you mean? What does that mean? Oh, dukes are hands. Lucy locket, that means pocket. It's Cockney rhyming slang. So with no time, I hate Cockney rhyming slang. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
Well, that's right, Governor. Nothing we hate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers.
Those sound like balls in Harry Potter sports.
Oh, we are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out, me Lucy lockets.
So you'd clearly like us to believe.
Come again?
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person?
Oh, saints alive! They've heard a gun, you say? Oh!
Blimey, Governor!
Oh, you ain't telling us that it was you in that doorway?
It was.
Oh, why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to the hospital. Oh, the great Sholmes, that's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Oh! Oh! Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. Oh! The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as they say, Counsel. I can smell it. I can taste it, yes. Fresh gunshot, yes. The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
Skulkin Brothers' gun has been entered into the court record. Signs a single shot has been shot. Okay. Single round. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. I mean, isn't that good for us? Wow, it's like a flintlock. Right? I don't know. Freaking don't ask me about gun stuff. I don't know. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 chambers. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot had been fired from it. Well, that means we still have one more shot that we gotta find where it goes, right? I think? Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened as soon as we walked in through Windybank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Right? Because then we got, if we look at this... Right? We got, that's gonna be 1 bullet. Oh, no, it's... No, because then this is a different one. That's from the other time. Interesting. Yes. Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. Huh? For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene at the crimes, the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windybanks that night. I mean, we have the... Yeah, I think we do.
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the pawnbroker's shop last night? Why are you going to save the game? What are you doing? You don't need to do that. You really don't need to. Oh, okay. Okay, you're doing... Okay.
It is. Right? Because we got... Nope, not that. Right here. Right? We got a second blood. We got blood on there.
Take that!
Right? Yeah. The evidence is in this portfolio.
What on earth have you there, Counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do? How arrogantly Nipponese of you. The reason they're probably using Nipponese is because it would actually sound how arrogantly like if they wrote how arrogantly Japanese of you, people would be like, that's too much. But it's okay if you use a phrase nobody uses anymore, because then it's fine, I guess. Well, anyway, can we stop him with the racism? We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio.
But you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein?
Yes, my lord.
No more doubting then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
This one.
What is that? Explain.
It's a photographic print taken at Windybank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident.
From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? Advise you not to see me. It appears the bullet is still lodged in there.
Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybanks' calendar. the date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th.
That's right. And what isn't irrefutable. The evidence believes that this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night.
No!
Murder? How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks?
You gonna do the throw? You gonna do it? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? There it is! But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollow chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new rivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Oh, take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup.
We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them more details.
Tell him, Skulky. Set the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks?
As has been established. Oh no, a single shot from the gun had been fired, meaning that it had to be Gina. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! As had been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes. Then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it. They missed all of them but the last one. They missed him. Look at his smile, though.
Oh, that's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it.
We didn't, Ash, we didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas?
We're in for it now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders!
What is that, Counsel? Has the appearance of a photographic contraption?
As your lordship had surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. I'm looking. As the court will observe, copious, identical prints are produced in quite desultory fashion. Are we gonna frickin' need to do... Wait, frick. Are we gonna have to do the frickin' cross your eyes and look for the difference thing?
Rather prodigal, I feel.
In fact, there are two such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, the respective positions are here and here. Oh my god, we're absolutely gonna have to try and do... Yep, I know exactly what we're gonna do with this.
You say these cameras lose a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
That's a bit of Friar Tuck, eh, bruv?
Friar Tuck, that means luck.
Lady Luck loves a skulking.
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
Must have been just after 1, right, bruv?
Must have been, man, Ash. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh, that's not good.
Good Lord! It's the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
That's really not good. That's really not good. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter, no doubt coercing the proprietor to open his door to a storeroom.
Quite. One can too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
So we're gonna need to take this and probably combine it with the other one, and then do like the special photography cross your eye thing to find the truth, I bet. I don't believe it. Ginny. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. I say, my lord, who's this? Oh.
Wonder if I might just put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. We have kind of similar voices. I forget what voice we had before, actually.
Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of My Wand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. That was what the voice was. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield.
Yes, Mr. Foreman. And what exactly is your point?
Carried on the battle after retirement, you see? A battle of daily life, if you like. Daily life, rather. And here I am now, leading a small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand?
Well, Mr. Foreman, was that correct?
In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garradeb Squadron's position, sir. But no, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, man, on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions, too. Well, I think you'll find the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky.
Very well. I now call upon each member to the jury to state his or her leaning on this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Oh, here's voices.
Guilty.
Okay.
Guilty.
I was right.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
Oh, deeper voice. Sorry, did he just die? Did the old man just fall over? Can we go back to the old man? Is he okay? He looks like he fell over. That doesn't... right? Okay. Can I... Did we see that? Is he okay? Like, am I crazy, or did he just fall over once he hit his hand?
Guilty.
Let's see.
Guilty.
Right, I feel like he hit it, and then he fell over. What did I see? Oh, no, he used it to hit his head. That's very silly. That's very silly. They're unanimous in their leaning. That photograph must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination.
Well, it's okay. We do this every time. I get it. Very well. The court grants permission.
So you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising.
We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready?
Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
All right. The jurors' contentions. The evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketian. Wow, that's a word. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will pop out.
If I left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now.
Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of the verdict to follow. Stop.
In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent.
Is he gonna be the last of the brothers, actually?
Circumstances of the crime and evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively.
The storeroom locked from the inside in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in that accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Taken from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder.
I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you.
But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windybank. Which means there's more to this situation than we've yet to see. Agreed.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination.
There's definitely going to be something about Mr. Stereoscopic Vision, right? Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal. Well, the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocket. Yeah, but why? What you thinking? You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Gyardeb, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Yeah? Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did a rather lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that. Therefore, you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Gyardeb house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Sorry, she's what? She's what? That's not a phrase. I'm imagining...
Oh, I'm just imagining her butt making the clapping noises.
Yes, can't be denied. You did a rather lot, but not for us, that's for dashed certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. As a housemaid, I would like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
Hold it!
Yeah, but what do you mean by that? Polishing the bench, I see. Again, a maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-pursers, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span, or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve those important goals. He's not doing that. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Ranced magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London's streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. I'm sure there's fan art of that. I'm sure there's fan art of all the Ace Attorney males in maid costumes. Mr. Sholmes. A maid. It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail. It was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, all right. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. That's a new phrase. I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will pop out. Okay.
Hold it!
Can you talk to me about that, buddy? What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Oh, sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl's about to shoot the victim, obviously. But there's no indication the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old, seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope here is to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. Only to give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Or if I left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions. Okay, oh, what's up, man? What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Oh, I'm so sorry. As you could probably tell, I'm a sturgeon. A sturgeon? That's a fish. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country are considered to be doctors. Oh no. Wait, what? Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medicinal science, the real brains in the field. So what is it that you think you've left behind? Oh well, that's a little embarrassing to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. It was a standard thing. Went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Oh, exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Oh, could I really have left my scalpel inside that fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. Well, it's exactly my concern, seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up. Oh, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you could be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. Mine made up. Stop. Global radio transmission averted. Follow. Stop. Can you stop? Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. But now we have the electrical telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmissions, the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmospheric electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological evolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Oh? Oh?
Excuse me.
Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but, what? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on, I dare you! Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes? Oh, you think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. Not my waifu! Oh, that was an easy joke. I shouldn't go with that. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. Oh, buddy's gonna explode. Oh, you just don't know! Pardon? Well, I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously gonna have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, well, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. What? Have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope? Absolutely. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. That's gonna be this one, for sure.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can! Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Oh, frick. Oh, we don't have another.
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Bruno, what? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? Yeah. How do I get another? You know, one for the left eye, one for the right eye. Oh yeah, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph. No, no, no. I think you'll find that the clue's in its name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Oh, thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Ha ha ha! I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me.
Let's get things back on track, shall we, Counsel?
How are we going to get another one of the photographs? Wait. Wait. That's one. Okay, well, we got the 2 cat pictures. Okay, well, that's not going to help us, though. Right? I don't think so. Let's see. Let's maybe try doing her regular one fully now.
Hold it!
Right, we'll just let her go through. Yeah, we won't stop her this time. Okay. Yeah, she gets so excited. And then... Can't understand it, I really can't. They're just silly toys. Don't spare any feelings, will you? It's not like there's anyone here who likes stereoscopes. So, why exactly do you think that the defendant is guilty? It's quite simple. We haven't been shown a scrap of evidence to suggest that she isn't the culprit. And just as radio waves dash through the skies faster than the eye can see, so we should dash to the conclusion of this trial and stop pandering and indecision. Is that a typo? Like from her?
In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I'm convinced brothers are innocent.
Why? Wait. Oh, we could pit them, and yeah, we could pit those two. Okay. Let's see here. Well, first off, let's talk to you. Let's press you.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary?
Da, I believe there is such a rumor.
It's just a rumor.
As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal.
Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out.
People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat.
And which glove fits?
Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts.
To be treated like vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look.
They also shot someone. The Skulkin brothers?
Da, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is all I have to say.
The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Bruno? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks, for all the world, like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. I can't change the minds of more than half these 6 jurors. The trial will be over. But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone. Yes, we have to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them all of Gina's innocence. Okay, so we got one for sure. Points at the finger, guilt at the young pickpocketienne. Okay, so we're gonna pit you and you.
Objection!
Yep, there's one. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself.
Oh my statement, contradictory.
Contradict. C-O-N.
Juror number 6, you got the wrong end of the stick.
I do not have stick. I have mouse. Mouse is not stick. Silly Japanese.
As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene of the crime on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not gonna tell the court now that you didn't hear.
Abdomen. Abdomen. A, B, D.
Sir?
Sorry. My English is still learning.
Wait, you are telling the court you didn't hear.
Forgive me. I did not hear. Oh, here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. Oh, if this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before we never done nothing. But truth is, they shot detective. Da, this is double negative.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal.
Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so
Enough. I trust no one now.
it's not the mouse's fault, though, sir.
I must see with my own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself.
I'm afraid that won't be yes, it is, Runo. Easily. Sorry. With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah. If you compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from a half hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Was this how we get the other print? Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Uh-huh. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. We'll still take it. We'll still absolutely take it. So, this was after Hurley was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. Well, we'll see as soon as I cross my eyes, you know? That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print.
So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot men, but they stole nothing.
That would seem so, yes.
Good.
No, not good.
You were right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue a trial.
Nice, that's one. Yay! Well done, Runo. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we just might turn the situation in favor still.
Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. But kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence.
Thank you. That's what we wanted. Yes. Another print in the court record. Wonder if we can make use of that. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh, what's he say? In lake of lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict.
Hey, mold. Okay, so. Can I present? I can't present. Let's press. Can we just press you? Can it really show up new clues, though? Don't know unless you try. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. Okay, so we're going to go with this one.
Take that!
Okay. All right, then, juror number 3. Okay, here we go. One more print. Here we go.
Take that!
All right. These two prints were both taken with the same camera in Windybanks on the night in question. Oh, yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. Left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Yeah, you gotta blur your eyes together. Your brain merges the two images together inside the head and notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No. Obviously, that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing this scene three-dimensionally, anyway. Oh, of course, now I see. Oh, I think the young girl's discovered the secret. I have. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Runo. Go on. All right, I'm going to do it. Can you get them bigger? Can you see there's a really obvious difference between them? Okay, I'm gonna cross my eyes. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I gotta cross them till they are one. Okay, whoa, just wait. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I'm crossing my eyes. Cross them till they're one. Oh, okay, it's really tough to do with this one for some reason. Because I think, wasn't the other one bigger? This one feels really small. Let's see, of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second. It might zoom in. Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But for now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. Okay, let me try. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I gotta get right up close. Okay, so cross my eyes and make them overlap. Okay. Okay, all right. Crossing. No, not there yet. Okay, they're crossed. Okay, I can sort of see, like, Gina and them are kind of going out in the distance. The thing in the box in the background, the box and the skull in the background, they look further away. Let me see that again. You might be trying this too. Okay, crossing. Get them lined up. Okay. That's all the same. Yeah. Oh my god, you can actually see it. Holy crap, that's really cool. That might be one of the coolest puzzles I've ever done in a like an adventure game like this. The box in the background stands out. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Yeah, I did it. Wait. Yeah, we can see it. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo? I saw it. Now my eyes hurt. What's going on with these 2 pictures? Yeah, it was right there. It was that whole thing. Like, it literally does show them jumping out at you. That's really cool. That might be one of the actual coolest puzzles I've ever done. It hurts the eyes, though. And I can honestly see this being a puzzle that, it's a good thing that doesn't ask you about it. Because if you can't do it, like, if you actually have an eye problem, because I know some people can't do it, you know, it'd be bad. But for like me, that's cool. They jump out. Everyone's crossing their eyes. Oh, he's not. Yes. That's it, you see. That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power?
Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh?
You know, what's Molly? Molly, good thing. Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out like that, Well, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures 3-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the 2 pictures, it shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. That's cool. Now hold the fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. Why the devil does a shift between the 2 prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you critter, the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Runo, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then 30 minutes later, you can see it totally shift. The second photograph was taken, but the position of some of the items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zookers? Zookers! Someone tampered! New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in the summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost imperceptible shift of the things on the counter. Do I just need to do one of them? It's gonna be one of them, right? I assume? They came in and did some shady business, right? Maybe? It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers.
Wait. This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. My phrasebook says dukes is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is pockets. But is this another lie? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Now hold on there a minute, you can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pick purse, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pick purse. Is a thief better or worse than a pick purse? That's a topic of debate, I would say. I believe the brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not be at least right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Whoa, well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair. Hey!
Is that going to be Sholmes' surgeon? It's going to be, yeah.
Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You'll see their extraordinary potential firsthand.
Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop.
Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. Two lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done. Oh, by the way, what? You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. Stereoscope has been entered into the court record.
Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them.
I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Fade out. Fade out. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night, at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've found that, proven that Gina is innocent. Yeah, there we go. Nice. These are like the perfect length. Some of the other ones, it's like, not as much, but like the trial ones, they're kind of perfect length. All right. Sounds good. I'll see you guys next time for some more Let's Play Great Ace Attorney. We'll see you then, guys. Ciao.